Good morning, Jesse here, and I hope you're doing well, brother.
Doing well. How you doing?
Man, blessed and highly favored. You know how I go, man. From there, man, what did it mean to you guys to see Sean Clifford, especially on that first drive, really control the offense and then kind of really take hold of the game in general?
He went out there and he was very poised. He was comfortable. He looked like himself. That's just what we need from a calm, cool, collective Sean that does what he does best. Just be out there and be a general and just lead the offense. So it was exciting to see him out there just get back to playing like himself.
Joe Giuliano.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
For me, the stat that stood out for you guys on defense Saturday was 4 for 12 third down conversions for Michigan. What was the key? Why did that switch so quickly? I think the first 5 games, I think you agree that it was hard getting off the field, but you did it this week. Why?
Just point of emphasis on, dating back to, the conversations that I've had with you guys. We really wanted to own that, go out there and establish ourselves and establish, our physicality from that standpoint. Especially, on the money down, third down for us is what we refer to as when we need to get off the field. We wanted to be aggressive. We had a lot of opportunities with third and short, fourth and short situations. And, the one thing I just kept reemphasizing with the guys was, hey, we need to play on their side of the line of scrimmage. I had a play where, I led the charge, and that's the standard. That's what we need to do week in and week out. Just be dominant and play on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Peter Terpstra.
Hey, Jesse, you're a guy from Canada. This is kind of a silly question. So we're about to play some December football here. Are there some guys on the team that are maybe from warmer climates that are kind of getting used to the cold weather around here? And, we're getting snow in the state right now. Is there anyone that has a harder time dealing with that than others?
I wouldn't say necessarily everyone's having a harder time than others, but, when you have guys like TJ Jones, who's from Florida, Parker Washington's from Sugar Land, Texas. They're not really acclimated to dealing, in these conditions and whatnot. But at the same time, it's been funny because I reemphasized. I was talking with Parker yesterday. It's December 1st, and we had a short glimpse of snow. So it's a blessing. We've been in a year where we've had good weather. We haven't had to really battle the weather and whatnot on game days and everything. So I feel like we're in a good position. They're going to finally have that transition of having to deal with the cold weather and see what a winter in state college is really like. So I think for the most part, they're doing pretty fine.
Audrey Snyder.
Hey, Jesse, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
We talked a lot this offseason about you stepping into a big role and Micah's role and all that kind of stuff. How do you think 6 games into this you've done individually with your film study, adjusting in game, and all those kind of little details that probably go overlooked?
I feel from an individual standpoint, I performed, pretty well. There's a standard that I hold myself up to, and, I feel I haven't stepped up to that just yet. Week in and week out with my preparation, I feel as if I've been prepared. But it all comes down to going out there and just executing. So from an execution standpoint, there's a lot for me to keep on doing because I feel that it's another level that I can tap into. And, with team success comes into individual success. So that's been my biggest thing, is making sure, I need to do whatever it is I need to do to ensure that we as a team come out victorious.
Joe Giuliano.
Jesse, how much more enjoyable was watching the film Sunday with your teammates than the first 5 weeks?
It was a great feeling. It's dealing with our situation. It's a great feeling to finally get the first one. So everything felt better. Just being in there with the guys, watching the film, and just making that transition to our next opponent, which is Rutgers. So we're excited. We're ready to get back to work.
We'll go back to Audrey Snyder.
Building up that Jesse, Coach Franklin mentioned after the game, you guys were going to have a Victory Monday dinner. How was it and what was it?
Oh, sensational. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I enjoyed those milkshakes. I had to take 2 to go. I still have one in the fridge. From the rib we had to the fries, chicken burgers, and the crab legs and the pasta. It was a great meal.
Tobias Wilborn.
Hey, respect to eating good, man. And then from there, man, I know you guys have obviously played with only parents and friends, but when you're in Michigan with literally no one in the stands, did you notice? How could you notice? And what was that just energy like there with literally no one there?
I mean, yeah, it's a factor not having fans there, the crowd noise. But at the same time, when the ball snaps, it's go time. So honestly, when you're honed in, you're stretching your keys, trying to find the ball, it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to play football. I'm out there. We got a job to do, and that's it.
Andrew Porterfield.
Hey Jesse, thanks for doing this. How will you guys look to come out strong and avoid a hangover of sorts against?
You cut off, sorry.
Oh, I said, how will you guys look to come out strong and avoid a hangover against Rutgers?
Oh, well, they're a very talented offense. Their running back, Paccio, I don't know if I pronounced his last name right. He's a very talented back. I'm just watching this film. He's the type running back you want on your team. He runs the rock, very hungry every single snap that he gets, even when he doesn't have the ball. He's a high motor guy. So just coming out there and imposing our will. It's going to be a 4-quarter game. It's definitely going to start out front. Front seven's going to have to set the tone from early in the game, and we're just going to have to play our style of football. One thing I can really say that I really enjoyed watching the film on Sunday with the guys was we look like ourselves. We look like we're having fun with our swagger. That's going to be important. Just being out there, having fun, doing what we do best as a defense.
Joe Giuliano.
Jesse, from the first game to now, how difficult was it to stay positive through all the bad times, and what's it like now? At least seeing a glimmer of hope for you guys.
It wasn't tough, honestly. For many people, they think leadership comes easy when things are going, as planned and whatnot. But leadership is truly tested at times of adversity when things aren't going your way. The one thing that I commend our guys for is we stay together. We're still a tight family. We lean on one another for support. Normally it's uncommon in a lot of situations. You would expect guys to rift and start tearing each other apart. That was never us. So we're a family, and that's one reason why I love my team so much. So.
Audrey Snyder.
I think Greg's getting Freiermuth for us. Jesse, when you kind of look at the development of Brandon Smith and Ellis Brooks, do you feel like you guys are at a point now where cohesively it's all clicking? Like, do you feel like those first maybe 4 or 5 weeks there were some growing pains there with getting you three guys on the same page?
Absolutely. Even myself included, there's a lot of times you can see on the film that, maybe it was a lack of experience or it's little things, but the growing pains definitely did affect us in the beginning of the season. But it doesn't matter. It's all about how you're going to choose to respond to it and what will you put, forward. And I feel as if moving forward to the last stretch of the season, we're in a situation where we can put it together for those 4 quarters and put on a great display.
Nubias Wilborn.
Obviously, you're a defensive guy, but last week you guys started a freshman running back, a freshman tight end, a freshman receiver. First time in school history. What does that say to you not only for where you guys are now, but where the program could go going forward?
It's a next man up mentality. This season we've dealt with, a tremendous amount of adversity. From an injury standpoint with guys, just dropping. But at the same time, it's a testament to who we are and our character in a program. Guys will go down. It's the next man up. How are you going to respond? Make sure you're prepared to handle the task. That's at hand is important. So seeing guys like Parker, Theo, and Lee step up and do what they need to do is expected. I'm always proud of him. I was extremely proud of Parker as well. He's coming along, showing me more and more week to week that he's getting more and more comfortable.
Audrey Snyder.
Jesse, what we saw Keyvon Lee do on Saturday with the really impressive game. Have you guys seen glimpses of that behind the scenes? Like, have you seen it in practice? Like, at what moment?
Absolutely. he's a guy who came in here looking like he was prepared to take his first collegiate snap physically. It was all a matter of how he's going to pick up on the game, scheme, and just get it up top. And he's been accelerating faster than I would think. And it's honestly, his situation where he didn't have a choice to with guys like Noah and Journey dropping down. He was forced to step into a role, and he's done a great job. I'm excited to see what he's going to do moving forward.
We'll go back to Audrey.
We saw Lance with that 3rd and 1 stop last week, a big play for him. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like he's maybe turning a corner, and what do you think he can kind of add to that linebacking core since he's got such a different skill set?
Absolutely. Lance is a guy with a tremendous skill set. He's very agile, very fast. From a speed standpoint, just setting him off the edge, being able to allow him to go play on the side of the scrimmage and just cause havoc in the backfield. So the thing for him, I'm excited for. He just continues to stack good days on top of one another, and he just continues to be consistent. I'm excited for Lance.
Joe Giuliano.
Jesse, I'm curious, what was your take on the sack fumble that Shaka batted back toward Jason, and it was nullified by a penalty? What did you see on that play?
Primarily, it was a great heads-up play by Shaka. He's a high IQ guy, 400-level player, as I like to say. For him to make that split decision and bat it in, great play, one, and then Jason being there and scoop it. He turned a good play into a great play. As far as the call being reversed, I was a little unsure about that because I have a friend who plays at Oregon, and he made the same play last week. I saw it. I was watching it on TV, and he kind of played keep away, scooped it, and scored. So when I seen it happen to us, I was so confused, and I was on the field, and I kind of said the same thing to the ref. I just, I had a good conversation. I was like, so what was the reason you guys called it back? And he told me it was an illegal bat. And I wasn't sure because watching the rewind, it was clear that Shaka had sideswiped it. That it was not out of bounds, stayed in bounds, and Jason came and scooped it clean. So at the same time, it is what it is. We came back and we had a good 4th and 1 stop, and we got the ball back for our offense, and that's what matters.
Parth.
Hey, what's going on, Jesse? Appreciate the time this
morning.
How you doing? Doing well. How you doing?
Good.
What is Keyvon Lee like off the football field? I know, obviously, Journey is very goofy, super charismatic as a leader, and then Noah Kane's kind of more quiet. What is Keyvon like?
It's funny, Florida, their lingo, he's a good little jet. He's a good little kid. That's what they like to say. I haven't spent too much time around him. But from what I've seen is he's pretty charismatic as well, funny individual, good all around kid.
Last two for Jesse. We'll go to Peter Terpstra.
Hey Jesse, what's it been like to have the general student body kind of gone from campus? And have you guys been, I guess, so isolated that affects you much or not?
I want to say it affects us, but it definitely is different. Just not being to interact with your peers, your students. It's weird, it's like back in high school, Friday night games. You have your student body. You feed off their energy. We haven't been able to tap into that this year, but nonetheless, it's not an excuse for anything that's transpired this year. Moving forward, I hope, we are blessed with the opportunity to have them back, when it's time to compete. But it's been a odd year. I can say that much.
New bias Wilborn.
I don't know how many people on the podcast know what a JIT is, but that's a whole other conversation. From there, man, you're talking about that bat play, and watching it live in the game, it felt like that's one of the moments where previously you guys maybe would have fallen apart. What was different that day? Because it wasn't the only moment where you guys could have went off. What made it different on Saturday to hold tight?
We're hungry. That was the point where we just kept re-emphasizing the sideline. From the first series, it was evident that hey, we're ready to play. We're hungry. We're having fun doing so. So when the refs made the call and they told us defense were back up, hey, this is when you grit your teeth. It's when you put your foot down. Let's play football, hard-nosed football, Penn State football, and let's do what we need to do, get off the field.